Welcome back. We're Eric's Drink Whiskey. Miller here.
Simpson here.
We're going to change it up on you a little bit.
What?
We're drinking scotch.
Scotch.
Normally, I'm not afraid to admit it, unless I'm going for my Johnny Walker Green, I'm a single malt guy. I know that's kind of snobby to say. And you wouldn't think living in a place like Florida, we'd have a great variety of whiskey selection, especially not scotches. Up in Gainesville, where I live, have a great store run by a super awesome guy named Jigs, and he does some crazy awesome picks. You've seen some on this show already. Not too long ago, he did a Compass Box Scotch pick. Now, for those of you who don't know, Compass Box is they're a blended Scotch, and they kind of they do blended Scotch a little bit differently. A lot of blended Scotches like to kind of keep a secret on what's actually in the blends. Compass Box has a couple of kind of off-the-shelf blends that they do. Great King Street, which is what this is a single cask pick of, is one of those. They have several others, but just a really awesome company. Actually learned a lot about them from our friends, the Scotch Test Dummies. So I can attempt to speak intelligently about them, but I know I'm going to fail miserably. So, what is this Great King Street blend? It is a sherried, peated Scotch. I think I speak for me and my co-host here when I say those are our two favorite Scotches.
We like the sherry. We like the peat.
I've got the details because, again, Compass Box doesn't make any secret. Most of what they've got in here is sherried Spaysides. They've got Lafroig floating around in here, and then they've also got some bourbon cask finished Highlands. They take all that together, and then they've actually put this in a single sherry cask to marry.
They mixed them.
Mixed them. So, what do we have? We have a sherry-y, peaty Scotch.
Sherry.
So what are we gonna do now? We're gonna taste it because that's what we do.
We do with drinking whiskey.
It's got a nice color. Definitely, probably on the older side of Highlands. I don't think there's an age on here.
Was there coloring added? Do you know?
I don't know. But also, it's sherried, and then they put it in another sherry cask. So I know it picks up a lot of color there.
Give me a skosh.
Pour you a smidge.
I'm drinking from the wee Glencairn, the tiniest one, so I can stick my pinky out.
So this is...
Ooh.
So this was married on 29 January 2019. And it was bottled on 7 October 2019, so it's been about 8 months in that marrying cask, ex-sherry, and there are 57 bottles that came out of this particular cask.
Damn.
So I'll
let you go full tasting notes, and then I'll dive into mine.
So we actually were just talking about scotches off camera. I would not have pegged Lafroig being the Isla in this. I get a brinier Isla nose off of this. But I can definitely smell the sherry. Kind of some raisiny notes. But yeah, it's mostly those traditional Isla notes. A little faint smoke, but mostly that briny, salty, a little bit of tarriness.
I'm actually getting a little more of a salty toffee note.
Okay, like a more of a finished sugar.
You know, like a caramel chew covered in salt.
Maybe it's due to the power of suggestion. But yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, like it's I don't know. It's like I get a wave of caramel. Some fruit on the back end, kind of like a plum cake.
Yeah, there's definitely like a bready maltiness to it.
I don't get really much peat on this. I probably will on the taste, but I don't get much peat on the nose. But what I do get this, like, I emphasize on the salt. Like this is salty. I can smell it. There's a little bit of the smoke, a little bit of that smoke there. I kind of get it now.
But again, you know, we were talking about the video that we did back October 2020 of Caol Ila, Ardbeg 10, and Laphroaig 10, and how smoky the Laphroaig was compared to the others.
Yep.
And maybe we're looking at an older expression of Laphroaig.
Could be.
But that smokiness is not here as much as that saltiness, brininess is.
The sherry on this is ever so subtle in a good way. Like it's waving,
which is surprising because this is a blend of some sherry finished single malts that are then married in another sherry cask. So you're like double sherry.
Yeah, and sharing what I've read up on in Scotch making and aging. A lot of these Scotch distilleries aren't getting the old sherry barrels that they used to get. They're not getting these like OG 20-year-old Pedro Jimenez barrels. They're not getting
just
those
dank, like soaked through.
Yeah, they're not getting those. In some Scotches, like I think Glendronach does it. They are only sherried.
Right.
Like they first fill, put it in a sherry barrel, and it stays there for 12, 15 years, whatever.
I think one of the Aberlours is like that as well.
So some of these barrels, like, you know, Macallan, for example, Macallan's one of the best at like meddling a sherry with a Scotch or with that kind of single malt taste. But what I'm trying to say is the sherry can be overpowering depending on where it came from. Now the Scotches that are coming out now that use sherry are using kind of younger barrels, and they're using like 6-month finishes.
So you're getting sweeter sherry notes right off the bat instead of maybe an oakier, drier sherry.
Right.
I know things. How about that?
I'm just saying out there. So that could be what was going on. I could be completely off, but just by the power of a nose. But I do know that about like sharing with Scotches. That is a thing. It is very tough to find old sherry barrels anymore.
Let's drink this bad boy.
Yes, let's nose fuck this bitch. Woo! There's a peat. I didn't get a damn bit of peat on that nose, but boy,
I take back what I said about the Laphroaig.
I'm tasting it. I taste every bit. Like, I don't.
Wow.
There's no sherry on that at all. I don't think
it tastes like a super sherry Laphroaig. No. I take that back. Kind of on the back of the palate, there's that bready maltiness that you expect from a Highland.
Yep. God, that's
delicious.
That's kind of hot for 49. I think it's 49, isn't it?
49, yeah, so we're kicking at 98. And again, one thing I've seen is with sherry Scotches, especially higher proof, you get a little bit of spice from that sherry barrel.
Okay, there's the sherry.
It gives it some character. After that initial, like, boom, that burst of smoke from the Laphroaig on that first sip, on the second sip, you definitely get those maltier, fruitier notes from the sherry finished space sides and the Highlands that go into this. I think it's like my perfect Scotch. This
is really good.
If you ever have a chance to snag a Compass Box pick, freaking go for it. But from what I understand, the Glasgow Blend is just bold, peaty, and sherried as it is. If you can find this, the Great King Street Glasgow Blend, go for it. But if you follow the Scotch Test Dummies, you can see they huge fans of Compass Box. There's a lot of different expressions out there, so definitely worth checking out. So
yeah, all in all, I enjoyed that. That was really good.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Bold,
you know,
peaty, sherry.
Goodness. Yeah, I was one of those assholes that was like, blended Scotch, I ain't gonna mess with that. And then I actually had a chance to try it at a tasting at one of the stores, and I was like, well, shit, I gotta buy it.
When people shit on blended scotches, most of the time it's a blended single malts.
Yeah.
Most of the time, not all the time, most of the time. That's like somebody on the YouTubes one day was like, "Oh, you drank that flavored whiskey crap. It ain't good." I was like, "Well, technically, it ain't all whiskey flavored." Technically,
wise man once said, at the end of the day, it's all flavored water. So, like, share, subscribe, follow.
Do what you got to do when you can do it.
Do it all. We appreciate y'all tuning in as we talk some Scotch. And until next time,
cheers.